I really fucking love snacks.
Hello and welcome to Snack Time Podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Adams. Just wanted to say up top, thank you for listening. If you like it, please subscribe and leave a review, unless you're my enemy, in which case, fucking burn in hell. But just kidding. Anyway, that's what I'm supposed to do when I introduce my podcast. It would genuinely mean a lot to me if I could move out of my 1-bedroom apartment. Anyway, I'm really excited for your guest today. I'm going to try really hard not to introduce him like it's a show and tell you to put your hands together, but we'll see what happens when I go on autopilot. I am so fucking hyped though, because his snack is, I don't know if you're from Texas, it's a regional delight. Anyway, guys, please welcome Daniel Webb.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. I also want out of my 1-bedroom apartment. Help.
Right. Yeah. That is the goal, you know.
That is the goal. I want a 1.5 bedroom so I can at least slam the door and walk into another room when I have a fight with my dog.
Oh my God, is your dog there?
He is. He's usually right down there.
I have Shug in my lap right now. She's
I
know, she looks dead. I hold her up and she just looks fully dead, but she likes to sit in my lap.
I didn't know how immediately she was there. Yeah, I'll show. There's the little bear.
Hi, bear.
A little bit. He's sort of traumatized.
Daniel says I can't pet his dog.
You're not the only one who can't.
I know I'm not the only one who can't. It is everybody. It's not like he's being mean, but I just had to say it's a rough go for me.
Some people choose to break the rules.
Cute. He's so cute.
Well, he's kind of traumatized. His teeth are getting bad, so he's kind of losing his bite. No. So now might be the time, to get.
Is he gonna have to get his teeth pulled?
It's a traumatic thing. So he's super old, right? So he's got kidney failure and he's anemic. So we can't put him under for dental stuff because he might not wake up. Right. So because he's 15, he's little and cute. God. Right, but he's 15. So people, when I'm screaming at him, walking him on the street, like, "Come on, you fucking dog, we gotta go." People they think I'm yelling at a puppy. I'm like, no, he knows better. He's 15.
That's so funny. He does look like a puppy. Well, Sugar Bear looks like a kitten, and she's 16.
So your animal is Sugar Bear, and my dog is Bear Snacks. This is full.
Oh my God, Bear Snacks! It's perfect.
So he came with the name Bear because I found him on the street, and but I don't necessarily like that name for a dog, even though he looks like one. And I always wanted to name a dog Snacks. I thought that was the cutest name for a dog.
That is the cutest name. You're absolutely dead on. So, but yeah, thank you for being on the podcast. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I adore you. You have such a great background set up. I know. I miss you too. What is with it's so funny because there was someone recently that went out of town to the same place I was in Jersey. And I was way more likely to see her there. She lives in LA. And I was way more likely to see her there than I was when we got back to LA. And it was that's exactly how it works.
How it is there. 100%. I don't know if you've ever been to Marfa, Texas, but it also has the same rules. You'll be there and you'll see someone from Austin, say, who's a friend of yours, and they'll kind of wave at you from across the room, like, bitch, there's 4 people in town. You can't not say hello to me.
I know. Wait, so for reference, Daniel, you're from Texas. What part of Texas are you from?
Born and raised in Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth, and then lived in Austin forever.
Yes.
So
yes.
And then moved to Satanic Los Angeles 4 years ago.
Did you call it Satanic Los Angeles?
I always do. Yeah, I think
that's a great call.
Yeah, I think it's true. I don't mean it in a mean way.
You should mean it in a mean way. It deserves
it's a mean, evil city, but I also like it. I'm gonna fuck with my lighting.
Yeah, fuck with your lighting. Do whatever you need to do. I mean, your snack is classic. Daniel's snack is vanilla bluebell ice cream.
So boring. And I know like vanilla is such a term for white people or even guys. Like I'm such a white, brown beard. Like especially now, I look so average.
Yeah.
I think I look more
No, you
than
don't. Your hair looks incredible. I know you had
thank
long
you.
hair for the longest time, but
I
you
did.
honestly look model-esque, and I'm not just
shush.
being nice.
I appreciate that.
You're
Teddy Baker
welcome.
Beauty. I have to give the girl a shout out all the time. She's from Texas too, but she lives in LA and has her own thing in Manhattan too.
Shit.
Teddy Baker Beauty.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, she's the one. So, but thanks.
Yeah. Or do you find that you just like end up finding people from Texas in LA and just like gravitating towards them?
So sort of in the same thing that you just said, that like you had a better chance of seeing somebody in your hometown, like who had just been there, than seeing them in LA. There's a whole host of like Texas comedians that moved here,
right?
Not together, but we all just moved at the same time. And thusly, yeah, because of that, I think just because we all kind of found each other out here as opposed to finding each other in Austin.
Yeah.
Not to say we weren't friends there, but it's like, it's just so different here.
No, that's what happened when I moved from Chicago, where it's like we knew each other in Chicago, but we weren't like crazy tight. Yeah. And then we moved to LA and everyone was like, shoot. Like,
and Chicago's a big city. Austin's not. Yeah. And so if you've never lived in a big city, sometimes you can be a little, you need a home base or like a network.
Yes. Yes. So. It's also just comforting because it's like what it's an easier transition.
I will say this, it was funny. Not funny, but one of our friends, LaShonda Lester, passed away a few years ago. She's a comedian in Austin, Texas. Look her up. Her album's on Spotify. LaShonda Lester. She's the kitten from the Murder Mitten, Detroit. But when she passed away, we were all in LA. And so we all went to our friend's house to kind of grieve and go through all that shit together. But it was really funny how much we all started eating and how differently we were all eating. Like somebody
grief eating.
Yes. And I'm not going to name any names because you know all of them, but someone was like chips only. And somebody was like only working out. And then somebody was like working on a piece of chicken that took like hours. It was like, what are we doing? I just started cleaning someone else's house, which is psychotic.
You were cleaning. I love that. I love like the observing grief behavior because it really is so specific to every person. And like the different, grief eating is like classic. Everyone brings you food when someone dies.
My friend's mom died and she was Cuban and I happened to be in town when that was going down. It was like a week. Yeah. It was traumatic. But when the food started rolling in, holy fucking shit. And then the day of the funeral, because it was this like Cuban fucking smorgasbord. It was insane how good it was. And of course, you can't say one thing about how delicious everything is because the bitch is dead.
Well, wait. What kind of food though? That's what I'm interested in.
So there's like the chancho is like it's like pig, but it's like the buried pig kind of thing. And then it's in its own juices with like hominy. So the hominy soaks up all the like natural like kind of pig grease. I make a joke about it, but it's not unreal. Like the potato salad was through the roof. And then they had all these like, and sometimes they look better than they taste. You know what I mean? It'll be like a mega layered cake, like a really rich, cartoonishly looking like chocolate cake, but it just doesn't have that sweet factor. Lots of stuff like that. Really decorative.
I have like a really big problem with a lot of I'm really specific about the places that I get my pastries and my cake because I find that there's a lot of places that make them look gorge and they're like full of zero flavor.
Can we name names? Have you been to Cafe Paris or Paris Cafe over in?
No, but I don't. Is it bad or is it good?
No, it's both. It's both. It's fucking the weirdest place in the world and my favorite. Yeah, no, I go there to like hang out, have coffee. It's a great place. It's super weird. Everything in their cabinet looks great. like a cartoon. It's like beautiful.
See, like what's the stuff there that's good and bad?
The
Name names.
only thing that's good, there's two. You get the miniature eclairs because they shove them full of cream like a cream puff, right? Which I'm not familiar with. It's like I usually think an eclair is just straight donut with the chocolate or whatever. So you either get their cream puffs, which are delicious, or you get the eclair, which is like a double. And then anything else in there, I haven't tried their cakes because they're like $50, and I ordered their tiramisu and that was weak, and I thought that was a sign of
shit.
Yeah,
it should be a sign. You know what? A lot of it is like ingredients too, because if you skimp, the thing about baking that like I love and that is interesting is like if you skimp on ingredient quality, you can legit taste it.
You can fuck it up. Yeah,
you can fuck it up. Like even the quality of the chocolate chips that you use in chocolate chip like cookies, you can taste. Or like one of the things that's huge, especially with like chocolate cake, is the quality of the cocoa that you use in the batter. That's like such a thing in like the baking community that people are like, I know it's tempting to get the store brand, but don't fucking do it.
Right. Because like, you'll know.
You'll know. And I'm such a fucking picky bitch. Like, to name names, I don't like La Monarca Cafe.
Yeah. I just don't like their signage.
Well, their signage is absolutely heinous. But besides that,
orthodontist.
Well, why? I don't want a fucking butterfly. That doesn't tell me to eat something. I'm not hungry for a butterfly. I also don't know. Are they like an LA only chain or what? I don't know what their deal is.
I don't know. So I live in Thai town where there's there's a Thai dessert like store basically where they're open till like 10 p.m. They have ice creams and little weird candies and stuff like that, but really yummy stuff. And then there's like a gelato place right down the street from me too.
Yeah.
Their coffee gelato, which is so stupid to say, but it's like the most amazing thing in the world.
No, that's not.
It's the right kind of, also I'm surrounded by donut stores.
Yes, so you are
I have
there.
my pick. I have like my pick of, if I need some like kind of homemade pastries that aren't going to suck, I can kind of go in a couple blocks radius and like hook it up.
Interesting. Well, I need to know your donut recommendations. I'm never in the mood for donuts, but when I see them, I'm like, I'm in the mood for donuts pretty regularly, but then I'm never motivated to actually go get them.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
The only way our father, we had the best donut store growing up. It was called Sun's Donuts. It was right around the corner. It was just like the best, like again, vanilla. How boring could it be? But it's like the best glazed donut you've ever had. I love a glazed donut. Love it. But now I'm like, all I want is a donut hole. Like I will negotiate a donut hole. I won't like go to town on donuts, but there's a Tori Amos lyric that says, "You'll never gain weight from a donut hole."
That's so funny. Is that because it's just too much to handle, or
it's so little it doesn't count?
I mean, that's true. When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, we used to give out. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts for years in high school.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Did you eat donuts all the time? I'm sure that's question number one.
It was a fucking nightmare. Maybe that's why I don't go get donuts. But like,
sure.
I mean, honestly, I think the donuts, they threw all the donuts out at night, like all the extras. And like, I loved closing because of that. Because like, we would put them in this giant trash can.
Yep.
And I would just, as I was throwing them out, take a bite, throw it out, take a bite.
Yeah.
And it was like the best fucking thing in the world to me.
I bet.
So, but people would be like, "Can I try a donut hole?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, sure. Who fucking cares?" And that reminded me of that. The donut holes were easy as hell. Actually, I remember the pumpkin spice ones very well.
There was in my more like artistic, what am I saying, misanthropic days. That's now. But when I was maybe just more rascallion about it, in my 20s, I was living in Austin. There was a 24-hour donut store. There's just like one. And I was like, I'll get a job there. I'm a musician. Like, it'll fit my hours and all that bullshit.
I didn't know you were a musician.
Oh, yeah. No.
Well, you've got a guitar behind you.
Guitar right there. And I don't know if you can see way back now. You can't see in there, but there's a Fender Rhodes. I played piano since I was 2. That's what I did first.
I knew you played piano. I just didn't know that you like pursued music. I love that.
Oh, yeah. No, I was in bands and stuff, and that all died. And then I started stand up. I was like, if I'm making people laugh with my music, I should try that.
No, I stopped. I went from music to stand up because I just couldn't. I just was like, I'm not a songwriter. I wish.
It's a weird. So I think music is like comedy is a weird thing to just all of a sudden decide you're funny and you need to tell people everything. That's a weird leap. But I think it's a much bigger leap when you're like making music at home and you're like, you know what? Everybody needs to hear this. Like, I just think it's a little presumptuous, but I did it. Everybody does it. What's the point of making art if you're not going to share it? But in those days, there was the donut. I can't remember what the hell the name of the store was, but I went in at like 1 a.m. because they were 24 hours. And the loser working there, I walked. I was like, I'd like to apply. And the guy goes, dude, no, you don't. I was like, no, I do. And he goes, come here. And he walked me through the whole bag. He goes, first, you got to do this. And he basically trained me in like 10 minutes. You don't fucking want this job, and showed me how heavy shit was, and this shit's gonna spill on you, and there's not gonna be anybody to give a fuck, and gave me like the worst version of what that job could be. And I was like, okay, great. I'll just take 2 chocolate donuts and I'll have 1 glaze, and I'm never coming back here again.
That's so funny. I actually really loved, I mean, it makes sense because I'm a baker now, but like I loved being engrossed in like all the food and the food making process. And just like I worked at Rita's Italian Ice. I don't know if you guys had it, but
I don't think so.
That was also super fun. I loved filling up the ice cream machines and making the pretzels. And then at like Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, on the Baskin Robbins side, we would make the waffle cones from scratch.
Oh,
I mean, with like a mix. Yes. Yeah. And so that was so fucking fun.
That smells so fucking good. That smell, that's dangerous.
That is like incredible. And that was like my favorite. I love doing that. People used to get mad because I would overfill the milkshakes, and they were like, I really don't want that much. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
People are fucking dumb. I used to do that at, I worked at a vegetarian restaurant. They made smoothies, which is ridiculous. It was a banana and juice. It wasn't a fucking smoothie.
That's what most smoothies are.
I mean, exactly. But I was like, I would give people more because I thought they were getting ripped off. People were like, I just wanted the small. I'd be like, you're okay, fine, whatever.
Great.
I want like this. I don't want it to be a candle, but I want the smell of the waffle cone in my home, right?
Yes.
But I don't want it to be some like Glade plug-in bullshit.
Well, you know, they're fairly easy to make. Like, that's the nice thing about baking is like the smell that you're talking about. It's specific, but you can get really close to it super easily if you just like throw some shit in the oven, like sugar and butter. I've like browned butter on the stove before, and Nick will be like, oh, that like what smells so good? And I'm like, it's just truly just butter in a pan.
You know, the like pre-made cookie dough in like a tub kind of a thing at the grocery store?
Yeah.
So I have done the exact same thing where I'll just throw like of that and then make the cookie and then not eat it. Cause I'm kind of a psycho right now on diet, but it's like, I just wanted the warmth.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I like baking too. You're like a master baker. I'm just kind of like, I'm obsessed with it. Like surfing. I'm not a surfer, but I could watch it and I want to be in the water.
Yes. I hear you on that. No, it's like, it's just joyous, especially this time of year. All I want to do is bake. And
well, my oven doesn't have a reliable thermometer. Is that the word I want?
Yeah, thermostat. Yeah, or thermostat, whatever. Yeah.
Well, I have. Well, yeah, but it's not reliable. So baking is like a fucking gamble every time. Like cookies are hard. You know what I mean? That's like frustrating.
Oh yeah. I mean, mine is decent, but I've been fighting with my landlord about mine will turn off in the middle of baking, and I'm like,
that's psychotic. You're haunted. No, your oven's haunted.
I know my oven is super fucking haunted. I also just sit there watching things bake on the floor. Anyway, I'm also psychotic.
No, I think that shows the passion because it does. If there's one thing it takes is like fucking patience. I have eaten raw, like I can nail a pie because for some reason I'm not too eager to just cut into a pie and eat it like I am.
That's hard though.
Well, also because do you know the thing about, have we talked about this? Putting melting cheddar cheese on like a pie, like an apple pie.
Yes. And I've heard of that and I've never done that, but it's actually will try that this year.
So the patience comes with the final where you can't just throw the cheese on the whole time. You kind of throw it on like later. So that's where my like pie patience comes in because it's not as good without the cheese.
I wonder, I have a torch. And I wonder if I could use a kitchen torch to melt it instead.
I'm sure, like kind of creme brulee that shit. It's if your cheese is all pie, whatever is better with like a smoked cheese. So that I think kind of accelerates the flavor. So however you melt it probably doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't have to accelerate the flavor by baking it.
I'm going to hit you up when I make apple pie this year and make you the right cheese.
Have you ever been to an apple orchard where like you pick the apples and shit? And it's sort of like the donuts where you throw them out where they like kind of encourage you to taste them and they're like, bite them and throw them on the ground if you don't want them, right? We were assholes about that.
Were you?
Well, we didn't need to try that many apples. We're all
well, also like it's like we don't remember. We're so far from like where we get our food from that we forget that like apples on the tree are like in dirt. Like they're like covered in dirt. And I would like grab them because we had fruit trees in our backyard growing up.
Yep.
And I would like go out there and grab one and I would be like, this literally tastes like dirt. And it's like, that's because a spider on it.
I worked in a million restaurants and of course you always steal food, munch food, buy food that you're eating all day. If you work in a restaurant and you're around it, you're going to eat food by some way, shape, or form. I'm not to imply that we're all stealing, but you go in the walk-in for something. Maybe there's some prepared food that you might a little bite of. Sorry, everybody does it. And I was working in a nameless restaurant. I went for a strawberry. I ate the strawberry. And one of the cooks walked in and caught me chewing. He goes, "What are you eating?" And I was like, "It's just a strawberry." And he goes, "Dude, that's like the worst thing in here you could have grabbed." He grabbed the tub of strawberries, walked me into the kitchen, ran the water to like rinse them. And when he poured the water, it was brown. Because strawberries, they're like the dirtiest thing because they're like actually physically in the soil more. They are the dirt. You have to clean them the most, I think, or the most hardcore.
Interesting. I mean, that makes sense. I don't even think about it. Like I did like a live stream with a chef and he was like, "Are you not washing your stuff?" And I was like, no, because it's gonna, I just assume the dirt's gonna cook off.
Well, what kind of vegetables?
Yeah, like vegetables and stuff. Like, do I need to wash or
rinse the wash? Yeah. I only mainly because I figure the workers at the store are fucking gross. Not the farmers.
No, you're totally right. I mean, and that's why I have started since. I know. Well, you know what? It's like I fucking get like the stupid asparagus that's been sitting in dirty ass water.
And that you need to wash.
I know. It's like sitting like on the side in like the gross water. And I'm like, if I'm cooking it in the oven.
That being said, okay, so during pandemic, I did a lot of driving up the one just because I was didn't have anything to do. And so that's where a lot of like Hidden Valley and there's a lot of farms up there. And so they're the larger off the road kind of tents that you can buy the product from where they obviously ship to larger venues, but that's their like in-house thing. So they have little kitschy fun things like, you know, chocolate drizzled popcorn and like all that kind of stuff. Zebra popcorn was a chocolate and coconut, whatever. It's so good. So I'm like plowing down on that, the store-bought stuff, right? And then before you know it, I'm like eating one of the plums. And like, sure enough, I'm like, because I thought I just bought it from like the farmer, my dumbass didn't think I needed to wash the bird shit off of it or whatever the fuck.
I know. It's like, it's absolutely bananas. And I'm also like, obviously not with Corona, but I'm like, you know what? It's good for my immune system. It's like, shut the fuck up.
No, I believe that. The
Yeah.
one thing about not being in restaurants is that I thought being around money and people's used plates and used silverware and just that level of germ exposure was good for me. I thought it was like
I
barrier
agree.
building.
You also realize when you're in a restaurant that like the shit is not that clean. Like it should be.
No.
But it doesn't take a ton to be up to health code. You know what I mean?
What I realize is that no one's house is clean. Everybody's fucking. I think a restaurant is cleaner than people's fucking house. One of my parents have these really good friends, and they come over like for holidays and stuff, and they cook. They bring like a dish to contribute to the thing, and whatever they make, whatever it is, it's different every time, but it'll be like a brisket, which is not good, or like asparagus. Anyway, whatever it is, it always tastes the way their house smells. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
nope.
Like,
no.
Like the same two people who've been farting indoors for 40 years and watching television in the same room, and maybe she's burned 300 like chicken pot pies over the decades. It's so gross. I'm like, it tastes like their couch, their living room, their like their comforter. It's so gross.
I hate it. No, I can't do that. I can't, and I refuse to. Well, I want to get into your favorite childhood snack. So, vanilla Bluebell ice cream. Please elaborate on this for me.
So, Bluebell, I'm sure they're probably bigoted or something now that I don't realize, but I'm sure they've been like outed as some whatever. Anyway, but they're a Texas company. Oh, they did. What is listeria deadly? They did have an outbreak. Is listeria something?
They did.
Okay, so
they did have a listeria outbreak.
Yes, and not that many years ago, I don't think. So there was a problem. Anyway, they're a Texas brand, but Southern. I think really they don't have any kind of specialty in how they make their stuff to make it any kind of chef quality. I don't know how you grade ice cream other than like it's just extra sugary sweet. And like the air they put in it and all that crap. There's way better quality ice creams out there. But Bluebell, they just pump full of the right kind of sugars. And like, it's so good. My grandparents never, you couldn't open their freezer and not have two flavors of Bluebell staring right back at you.
What flavors?
In their house, there was always a vanilla variant. And then there would be either a cookies and cream, a Dutch chocolate if my fucking sister was being a bitch about something, or like a mint if it was extravagant. The problem with Bluebell is that it is not exotic. They don't really stretch the spectrum on flavor. So you're not going to get into like even like your coconuts and like out into those worlds of like pistachio.
Right. But I was looking, and they do like some seasonal stuff, right? Like they're in on the pumpkin spice thing, but I don't know if it's like widely sold.
They might have upped their brand since I left as far as their marketing goes, because they're really down home country. One of my favorite things was a commercial they had in the 90s when like CGI soup special effects were like new, like Jurassic Park era. And Bluebell had a commercial where the cow sang. It's just this stupid cow like singing in an open field. It was so fun, but I was sort of a latchkey kid, just a little bit, and then it kind of overlapped with the time when my mom was like, "You can have a snack like after school, like sure, don't go hungry." Like snacks are like when you're not an adult, but they let you make new food decisions for yourself.
Oh my God. The food, what's the word I'm looking for? Autonomy.
That's good. Sovereignty. The food sovereignty.
Yes. Like graduating from like, you have to eat this to like, you choose your after school snack.
Like I woke up one night and I was so hungry. I made bagel bites and I buried the box and went to sleep because I thought I'd get in trouble for being up late. I thought I'd get in trouble for eating food late. Anyway, I know, right? That's a good midnight snack. But my mom confronted me the next day. She was like, it's okay to eat when you're hungry. She just was like, I just need to know if I need to buy more. But when I got out of school at like 3:00, 3:30 in the afternoon, Designing Women was in syndication. I think like DuckTales was on television. So there was
DuckTales,
which I loved DuckTales. You never made it home in time to catch the whole episode, right?
No, but I have the jingle in my head.
Oh, I have for 30 years. It's that and the Doug theme have been in my head daily for 30 years.
Interesting. I have it's DuckTales and then Gummi Bears.
I love it. Gummi Bears, I love it because my dog is bear. I go, yes, they're bouncing here and there and everywhere. Gummi Bears, they're bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
We are the Gummi Bears.
Because Bear's nickname is Barriere. One of his zillions of nicknames is Barriere. So I go, Barriere, he's bouncing here and there and everywhere. Yeah, we sing that daily at the Webb house.
Oh my God. I just will be sitting around and all of a sudden I'm like, DuckTales. Woo!
Yes. So you know the popsicles that are in the little plastic bag, right?
Yes.
That you squeeze out, but you have to freeze it first. They come as juice. Yep. I stopped freezing them and I would drink them because I wanted to be my gummy juice that would make me bounce.
That's incredible. That's honestly a brilliant idea. And
we had a trampoline, so we'd glue and then you'd bounce on the trampoline.
Oh my God. I am obsessed with that. Yeah. That was such a good,
I need to visit that cartoon.
I know. You know what? There was you know what I have to when I was a kid, I remember, first of all, the original, a Chipmunk movie was my favorite. And I would love, even though in retrospect, do you remember that movie?
I do. I kind of want to say we might have seen it in the theaters on a weird day trip when we were kids. I have this random memory.
Obsessed with it. Also, because there was so much singing and the female chipmunks in it, though, that part was slightly problematic only because now in my head I'm remembering they I don't know if this is for a different podcast, but they were traveling the world and they were after these bad guys and the female chipmunks got sucked into a harem.
Oh fuck. Well,
and and they were I think they were in Egypt or something, and they got sucked into a harem and had to snake charm their way out of the harem. I have to look that up because that is deeply problemac for a children's cartoon. But now I'm into it. I could honestly
comedian Martha Kelly is huge into the Chipmunks, huge, mega huge into the Chipmunks. In fact, I have a photo on my phone. I think it's the last photo I took is of a license plate I saw driving down the road that just said Alvin. I was like, Martha, is that you?
The Chipmunks were such especially for people who like music. I think I love it. Imagine paying for that.
That's exactly what I thought because it was on a nice card too. So in elementary school, our teachers would put on a holiday program, which is so humiliating, I'm sure, right? But where the teachers are in it and they sing carols or something. Yeah. No. Because the kids always they made us do pageants too, right? We had to do Texas pageants and holiday pageants and America pageants, all that bullshit.
Right.
So I'll never forget. One of my favorite songs is Silver Bells. Great song. It's pretty. So that's one of my first introductions to Silver Bells was at the teacher Christmas presentation. But what was more iconic at the time was 3 teachers actually had the plush Chipmunks costumes. So the Chipmunks technically were there. So we were kind of losing our minds. But the teacher who's the man? The guy, the human?
Oh,
Steve, Rick, Adam.
Something like that.
Dave. Is it Dave?
I think it is Dave because now I'm remembering the old lady in the movie being like, Dave.
Well, The only person who played Dave was the yet to be outed lesbian, like 3rd grade teacher.
Incredible.
Who just put on a ball cap and wore her clothes.
That's honestly iconic, and I really fucking respect her for doing that.
I can see her on stage lip syncing, going, Alvin!
This is like, I mean, part of what I love about this podcast is like diving through the childhood, like mostly like middle school memories of just like what fucking school being insane. But then like, yeah, like the epic, like coming home and being able to choose your snack and like the comfort of the snacks. And like, I don't know, they gave out snacks in my school. I don't know if they give out snacks in school anymore because of like all of like the weird allergies and everyone's psychotic now.
Right.
But we would get like the snacks they would hand out were like so specific, and you knew which teachers had like candy they would give you if you did something good. You know what I mean?
We had candy rewards for sure. And it was like Jolly Rancher was like number 1.
Yes.
For like, what's the word for like commerce and like cajoling kids into being good students.
Absolutely.
But I think about like in elementary school it was different because you just had the one meal. And I can remember in some grades, there was like a distinct, like snack time was at 10:15, but you didn't go anywhere. Yeah. You just pulled your shitty banana out at your desk and ate it.
Yes.
But this was archaic times. But then in junior high school, you're eating snacks all fucking day, right? Like there's vending machines. So you're eating Dunkin' sticks 3 times a day. Did you have those?
What are Dunkin' sticks?
They're like donut sticks. They're like, they're like a cake donut, basically. That's like a bar.
Oh, wait. And did you dip them?
I think ideally it's shaped that way for coffee dipping or something, but no, I would just like house them. They were so good.
I truly didn't know that existed.
They're so good. Dunkin' sticks.
Dunkin' sticks. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, they're sort of like it was that or like a honey bun. I would usually have like one of those 2 things. So sort of the same consistency. Yeah.
Classic. Wait, hold on one sec. And I'll edit this part out and I'm just gonna clap it. But I feel like your video is freezing, so I'm just gonna hide you real quick and then bring you back on. Okay, try it now.
Okay, me?
Oh, it's still freezing.
I'm good on my end.
You're good on your end? It's freezing on my end. So maybe it might be my internet because my spectrum has been going in and out. So maybe it's me.
So it could be those assholes.
Oh, they can suck my fat dick. The audio's fine. So it's fine. We'll figure it out. And then I'll clap again and then.
Okay.
So in terms of where you ended up eating the Bluebell ice cream, was this like at your house or you mentioned your grandparents had it, and is it like was it a staple in your house too? Why am I like touching my boobs and lifting up my shirt as
we're getting comfortable?
I'm getting comfy.
It's we never lived far from home or school, excuse me. So like it wasn't far to walk and stuff or even drive because let's face it, we were picked up a lot because we're lazy. Or dropped off, I should say. So yeah, we had a TV in the living room, and then there was another kind of a kid's room that had a TV. Okay. We were not rich people or anything. We just happened to have an extra room. And so I would go into that smaller room so I could be by myself and I could watch what I wanted to and not be bothered and all that kind of like, because I was 9 and had shit to do.
Because you were an adult and you like, you know.
Well, one of the things that made me feel like an adult was I would pour not a rocks glass, but it was like a glass of full of ice with Coca-Cola and just like nurse that after school, which I thought was like an adult beverage kind of thing, which is so stupid. But then I would just stand in front of the television, eat the ice cream, and usually watch, because I'd get home usually like it was 3:45 was a good day because then you could catch the last 15 minutes of DuckTales Gummi Bears, you name it.
Right.
Designing Women didn't come on till 4. So you had time. But and I would just sit there and like eat it and just kind of like end my day with that. I would remember we would stand there and kind of change the channels and just eat. Like literally you had to change the channels because there wasn't a remote, but I would sit there and just eat in front of the television standing.
I love that. You just zone out. Eating standing is such like an also specific comfort thing. Like I can't tell you how many times I stand in my kitchen and just like stand there eating out of the fridge. Although I don't know if that's like laziness, but it's comforting.
One of the best wedding receptions I ever went to was just at my friend's house where we all had a bunch of Bud Light and got drunk, and then we were all hanging outside of the refrigerator eating like pickled okra out of the jar, and and then we went for the wedding cake. It was so good.
I'm very into pickled okra. Okay. So I put together a couple games. So 2 truths and a lie. This is based around the Bluebell ice cream that you mentioned, the regional delight.
Yes.
So I've got 2 rounds. We're going to see the regional delight that is Bluebell ice cream. I'm actually a rep for them. Surprise. But basically, there's 2 rounds, 3 statements per round. Classic 2 truths and a lie. You have to find the lie, and it will determine if you actually understand your favorite snack. So, are you ready for round 1?
I think so.
Okay, great. So, the first statement is Bluebell is named after a flower. Bluebell tried to make dill pickle a flavor. Bluebell ice cream was sold to Nestle in the 60s.
What was the first one?
Bluebell is named after a flower.
That's the lie.
No, that is.
Is it the blue bonnet? Is it named after the blue bonnet?
No, it's
or
like
Bluebell is a fucking flower.
Yeah, I think the blue bell. Let me look up.
Oh my god, is it dill pickle? I thought that was true.
No, dill pickle is true. That's why when you were like, they were like, they're not really adventurous. They literally tried to make dill pickle a thing, and then they were like, "Whoops, sorry." We actually
nobody wants pickle ice cream. That's disgusting. I love pickles.
That's the jump. That's the jump you make. You go from vanilla, classic vanilla.
So, like people can barely handle one whole pickle in life, let alone like a bowl of your engineered soft serve.
So fucking ambitious.
It's the whole bacon thing. When people thought every flavor lived bacon chapstick and fucking bacon mayonnaise, all that shit.
I still like a bacon maple donut. I'm still here for that.
Nothing wrong with any of those 3 words that you just said: bacon, maple, or donut together.
Bacon maple donut. Okay. Well, so the lie was that it was bought by.
I suck.
No, yes, you do suck. It was sold to Nestle. They've remained independent, which is kind of impressive.
Well, I think that was also why the listeria outbreak was so detrimental to them.
It's true. It's totally true. But yeah, they remained like pretty independent. They're really just like they're really happy with their growth. I just don't think that they're as like hungry capitalistically, if that's a word, as other companies. So they were just like, no, we really want to stay pretty small.
Country. I got into it. I got into a discussion with somebody about them and how it's just too light. There's just people are more aficionado about ice cream now than just like you know what I mean? If you're going to get Kroger brand, just get Kroger brand. Who cares?
Exactly. No, exactly.
But, it's all nostalgia. It's like I want McDonald's French fries for nostalgia's sake, even though I don't actually want McDonald's French fries. I want Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Yes, absolutely. But Chick-fil-A, I mean, we have to condemn them.
We know.
Or we'll be canceled.
They are condemned. Have you had their ice cream?
No, I haven't.
It's so good.
Have you ever had Culver's?
No.
It's a Midwest thing. It's a Midwest thing. I don't even like fast food really, but not in like a snobby way, but Culver's is frozen custard, and frozen custard is so fucking good. And their whole thing is just like butter and like the fattiest versions of dairy, like a buttered bun, and like fuck, it's so good.
That? Tillamook ice cream, that shit. I'm like, come on, people, what are we doing? This is just fat, and like this is. I know what exactly.
I know, and I don't like the name Tillamook. I'm like, I'll call it Tillamook. Suck my butthole.
I have a great recipe that a friend gave me for a Irish whiskey chocolate milkshake. It's delicious. I made it for a Christmas party. I made a huge batch, right? I made a huge blender and poured the whole bottle of Jameson in there, right? It's a chocolate milkshake. And I just made it. Boom. My friend Bobby Jean comes over for the party. I'm like, Bobby, come here. I have a milkshake. Ding dong. The door rings and I go away. I come back. Bobby comes back with the empty pitcher, full bottle of Jameson. She goes, do you have any more? I was like, Bobby, you just drank an entire bottle of whiskey. She's like,
babe.
But that's how good the chocolate milkshake was.
I mean, I believe it. I believe it. I don't even have a blender. I don't I got rid of my blender. I have a Ninja.
I have a Ninja. It's as loud as a Vitamix, but it's about $900 cheaper.
I know a Vitamix. Fuck me. I mean,
I want one so bad. I want to be fucked with a Vitamix, actually.
I would love to be fucked with a Vitamix.
Can you
That's the truth.
That's going to be on my actual bridal registry. I want someone to buy the Vitamix and then fuck me.
And then fuck you with it. I honestly, I have like, I don't have the room, but I basically collect every kitchen appliance. I'm obsessed. I like anything. I just think it's cool. Like, I think they're fun. They're like toys for me.
Do you have, oh shit, what is it called? Is it called a guillotine?
Yes.
It's like,
well, whatever that is.
I
mean, it is essentially a guillotine, but it's like, I can't remember the name of it.
Is it for slicing or something?
Yeah, it's for, fuck.
I saw it on Martha Stewart.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like very,
like
all
a metal
of it is
thing.
Yes. Yes. Interesting. Okay, so let's do round 2. Ready?
Yes.
Great. Okay, here are the statements. Bluebell ice cream has been sold on the black market. The northernmost state Bluebell is available in is Nebraska. Bluebell ice cream was the first to make cookies and cream ice cream. It's a hard one.
Oh, I want that one to be true. But you know that that's my secret flavor.
Yes.
I feel like they would have a patent on that, and then maybe they would be rich.
Who knows?
Okay, sold on the black market. I mean, it's Texas. I have a friend whose mother was sold on the black market, so anything is possible. That's very true. What was the middle one?
The northernmost state Bluebell. The northernmost state Bluebell is available in is Nebraska.
That's true.
No.
What? I suck at this.
Well, they're hard. It's fun. They're hard. It's really just a silly way to like learn about the brand.
So they did make they are the OG cookies and cream because theirs is good.
That is like what they claim. They claim that they were the first to do cookies and cream ice cream.
I'll say this because they're like the cream part of the ice cream, whatever the non-cookie part is rich and yummy and kind of like sandy with cookie bits, but not in a gross way. It's still ice creamy. But then their cookie ratio is like perfect. I can't explain it. Like there's other kinds that it's just the wrong, or maybe that's just my favorite because that's my first. But
sure,
yeah, they're like consistency ratio and like flavor. I have some shitty kind that I had food poisoning for the last 2 days, so I was like, I'm gonna get ice cream. I know.
No, really?
I know. Yes.
What gave it to you? Do you know?
I think this Thai restaurant down the street. I don't want to name them, but I think it's the second time they've got me food poisoning. Shit. Honestly, my fucking abs look great right now. So, way to go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're fit, babe. You're just like fully, you're slenderized.
Then I have to get my fucking malnutrition back.
I know, exactly. Enjoy the abs while you have them. I'm picky. I love cookies and cream ice cream. I
It's
like
kind of
Ben and
Meemaw.
what?
Oh, go ahead. That's why it's kind of Meemaw. Like it's very grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a classic flavor combination too. And I really like Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I'm like a diehard Ben and Jerry's.
What are yours? I don't know them as well. I'm way less versed.
Mint chocolate cookie. Americone Dream.
What is that?
Americone Dream is I haven't had it in a while, but it is like waffle cone, caramel, chocolate. Like I think it's chocolate covered waffle cone with like a caramel swirl. I also like their cinnamon bun. I'm big on the warm flavors.
Yeah.
Like I don't like a hard chocolate.
Baskin Robbins had one called Snickety Doodah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have that?
Yeah.
It's so good.
I've tried every Baskin Robbins flavor.
I'm into what's the place? It's the vegan soft serve or whatever, but their flavors are like the sweet corn and the green tea. Magpies, that shit.
Think of Magpies. Yeah. I still haven't been there because I don't know why. I'm just like a little bitch about it.
Oh no, their flavors are so good. I think because I'm way more adventurous on my flavors than are my like home bases. I'll totally like like I like branching out on other stuff. It's just like if I'm home with food boys, I'm gonna get cookies and cream. But what's the gelato that's chocolate but not? Rascapone.
Oh,
you know that word? What's that word? I don't know the word.
No, fuck.
I'm merging that and mascarpone, which is not the right thing. It's a gelato that's like chocolate, but they do something different to it, and that's why it's not.
Weird. Okay, if anybody listening knows what.
Scotchetta.
Oh, yes.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I know that flavor. I don't know the details about the chocolate processing.
The gelato place on the street in Titan is really good. That too. I might get some of that shit today. I'm feeling so much better today.
That's great. I like pretty much stick to Salt and Straw and Jenny's if I'm gonna go get like gourmet ice cream. And even though Salt and Straw pisses me off with their flavors sometimes.
Stole these from Jenny's.
See, also though, RIP tasting, which is my favorite part.
I know. Well, don't tell the gelato people. They'll give you every fucking flavor.
Oh, good. Yeah. The other places since Corona, which like obviously reasonable explanation, but also
that's part of the privilege of being a paying customer is that you tasted your way there.
Yeah. And it's like, how am I supposed to know if I want your weirdo ass flavor of just like butt juice and fucking cream unless I taste it?
In barbecue land, it's very common when you approach the slicer for them to give you a sample of whatever. Like that's very common because there's usually a lot of meat going around, and you don't usually give like a prime slice of for the sample,
right?
And I always thought that was very generous just in food life. It was like more people should give you more free stuff. There's a coffee place around the corner, and they gave out free cake one day, and I was like, that is so sweet. I love
a freebie. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to pretend that I was getting married just so that I could go on like a wedding cake tour. Yeah. I know that that's mean. I'll do it. Like I will fucking do it. And like I've wanted to forever.
We were in Houston, Texas. God, okay, hang on. Let me think of the name of the building. It's something crazy. I think that's what it is. Okay. We were in Houston, Texas. My friend was doing ashiatsu training. That's the kind of massage where they use their feet. They hang from bars and they stomp all over.
That's my favorite. That's my fucking favorite.
Honestly, me too. That's kind of the main practice in Thai town. So if you get a Thai massage here, that's usually go-to number one. I got some good recs if you want.
Yeah, please. There's a place around the corner too, but they're slacking.
I've started going to a place in Studio City. that's really good and cheap.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're really good. We were in Houston, Texas, and so we had done the massage thing, and we were all at the hotel showering. And so my friend and I went to just take a walk around the block, and we looked up at the skyscraper, and at the top floor, it's not like a huge skyscraper, maybe like, 30 floors, is like the top floor is like blinking rainbow colors, party, party, party. And like, I look at her and she looks at me, we're like, well, let's go see what's going on. So we go to this office building, and then there are people kind of nicely dressed already walking in, and they hold the door open for us. So we walk in, and we walk in with them. We go up the elevator. We go up the elevator with them. They get off the thing. We get off. And so we walk in, and it's somebody's big ass fancy wedding and some huge, it's called the Exxon Mobil building. So some oil sons of bitches. And on a side note, this is how rich this building is. We later peeked behind a curtain, and there were 4 tables with each with an old couple sitting at each table, right? The oldest people you'd ever seen, finely dressed, and a small string quartet playing as they dined, fine dining, in what is clearly a private supper club. I mean, it's the size of this room. It was unreal, but these people are loaded, right? Okay, so meanwhile, on the other side of the building, same floor, top floor, is this crazy wedding, and me and my friend walk in, and immediately the bride sees us. He goes, "Who are they?" And it's like the wedding, whomever, the building manager guy, comes up to us. He's like, I'm sorry, are you with the party? We're like, oh, we are, and we just both immediately started lying. We were both in cahoots. We were both like, oh, we're literally engaged.
Wedding crashers.
We're engaged, and we had wanted this venue, and we saw that there was something, so we thought this might be a wedding, so we were just going to take a peek to see if it looked like something we wanted. And the guy who was talking to us went from grilling us about where we were to, let me show you around. And the son of a bitch showed us everything. He showed us the kitchen. He showed us the dining room. He showed us, that's how we saw the little room with the people eating the fine dining and all that kind of stuff. So we were these wedding crashers that we were totally plain clothed. And as soon as they thought we were brides to be, they let us in. It was hilarious.
God, that's incredible.
No rings.
I love a good con. Like I will, if you ever, I mean, I'm also really big. I go to restaurants. All my friends hate me. I am the person, if we are out to dinner, it is someone's birthday.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting engaged. Somebody's celebrating something, and people are furious.
El Chico was the restaurant where they would, if you lied, said it was your birthday, or just said it was your birthday, they'd come out and put a sombrero on your hat, give you a free sopapilla, and take a Polaroid of your dumb ass.
I love it. I mean, that's like people, I mean, we're old enough now that people legitimately hate it and they would be mad, but I think that's hilarious. And I would do that. If there's any like group, it's my fucking favorite. Also, because when I was a waitress, that was fun. I was like, ooh, we get to do like a stupid thing.
So once I'm not very celebratory with my birthday. I'm celebratory all the other days.
Right.
And so my family was in Austin. They came to visit, but we wound up at my cousin's house. So it was just kind of this day I didn't want to. This is not how I want to spend my birthday. And as an adult, mind you, as a man in his like 30s. And so then we went to Chili's because that's where everybody wanted to go for dinner. And so we're just at Chili's. They're like, happy birthday, Daniel. And then one of them tells the fucking server, and then they come out and they make the servers do the happy birthday because you're such a, you know what I mean? I'm a server, so sometimes I took offense to that. I was like, don't make me fucking sing. And so I'm hammered. Like, they make me do the salt and pepper shaker thing on the table. But nobody else in the restaurant gives a shit. No one's looking or doing anything. So I go, hey, stop. They're not looking. They're not singing. Nobody's singing. And then this group of teenagers goes, we don't want to sing, dude. I go, oh, you could go fuck yourselves. And one of my cousin's kids go, I go to school with them.
Oh, my God.
I turned it into such a shit show really fast. But the wait staff gave me like a round of applause.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, fuck, fun is fun. Suck my butt.
It was good.
Okay, so I have another game to play, and it is called Fuck, Marry, Kill. You're obviously familiar with that game. However, we have added a new option, which is Fuck, Marry, Kill, Poly Partner, which means we're pretty progressive here. And so you have 4 options. You can fuck, marry, kill, but then you have the option to poly, who would be your partner in addition to who you marry. So, yeah. So you have the option, and it can be as close as a relationship as you want. You can share them with your married partner. You can do whatever you want, but they're definitely not your primary. So your primary is your married. Your poly partner is whatever the proper terminology is. So 3 different categories, 3 different themes to it. The first one you're going to love because it is cookies and cream flavors.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you 4 options, and then you have to tell me which you would fuck, marry, kill, or poly with. Okay. Ready?
Options.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay. Fuck, marry, kill, poly partner, cookies and cream flavors. Here we go.
People are too creative. There's just one cookie. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. You're fine. Now you're going to have to decide. Okay. Ready? We've got a cookies and cream McFlurry.
Okay.
Cookies and cream cheesecake. A Hershey's cookies and cream chocolate bar.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever had this Oreos cereal.
You know what? Is it? I think I have. I want to say I had it in like a little kind of a little packet.
Yeah. They had it. It was off the market for a while. They had it in the 90s. It came out. Yeah. So it was like a big thing. And then I know they have it now again.
This is an easy one. We are going to fuck the cheesecake. We're gonna marry that McFlurry.
You've gotta.
We're gonna kill the Hershey chocolate bar. That is such a waste of time.
Okay.
Can I poly the cheesecake?
Well, you can't fuck it and poly it.
All right, I'll poly Oreo.
Okay. I mean, you could poly the cheesecake and still fuck it.
No. I like that decision because I'm nostalgic for 90s cereal. I don't want to lose that. But no sense in the chocolate bar ever. Have you ever had that?
You know, my boyfriend loves it. I have not had it, and I just don't care for whatever it will taste like. It's not my favored format. Have you ever
had a Snickers ice cream bar?
Yes.
Those are so good, right?
Those are so fun.
In fact, I resisted buying a box of those at the store and instead got cookies and cream because I was like, you don't need a box of those. You can just walk your happy ass to a liquor store. Anyway, but have you ever had the Twix ice cream bar?
I have.
Not as good, right?
No, because it just doesn't have the right ratio of everything. But I love a Twix candy bar.
Same. So I was complaining to my friend Stacy. I go, ugh, I just had a Twix ice cream bar, and she goes, there's only one ice cream bar, and she meant Snickers. She was right.
Yeah, it's true.
Have you had where is cookies and cream cheesecake? Where the fuck is that?
I mean, they have it at Cheesecake Factory for sure, but they have it around. Like, I've had it at Cheesecake Factory.
I need to go to Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory is
Glendale?
They have it. I'm by the Grove, so they have it in the Grove.
You are?
By the Grove. So if you ever want to grove it.
I end up lost over there. Have I ever told you about the time I got my car stuck in the parking garage there? I lost my car keys at Nordstrom Rack and the ladies' department at Nordstrom Rack. It was a nightmare. It was such a fucking night. 2 days. It was so stupid. They called me one day. They go, we found your keys. I took like a $900 Uber back. And I got there. I walked in. The whole staff was going, keys. And when I got there, they held them up and they weren't my keys.
Fuck. That's my nightmare.
The Grove.
Yeah, so they have a Cheesecake Factory at the Grove. No, it's really good. It's really fucking good. Yeah. So I actually think I agree with all your choices.
Post food poisoning, I want like a gargantuan salad. Maybe I'll go to cheesecake.
I mean, that's like a really like hard turn from cookies and cream, but
I mean, but then I'm going to
relation
finish off with the cookies and cream.
I mean, cookies and I fully agree with you. The cookies and cream McFlurry is just like a fucking classic. There was a McDonald's across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts I worked at in town. And I would get off work and I would go and I would get either an ice cream cone or a McFlurry, and they knew me. And it was like mortifying.
I hate that. One time, I'm not joking. Someone from Wendy's once said, "Good to see you again." I was like, "I am never coming," but don't say that. I'm a new person every time. Every time.
I know. It's really embarrassing. I was buying the same e-cigs from 7-Eleven for a while, or like Juul stuff. And they were always like, "Hey," and it was like, they tried to make small talk. And I get it. Like, you're a person. I want to like be friendly to you, but please understand that I'm mortified.
Like, it was my cigarette beer runs. I would mix it up just because I was like, I can't have the same conversation with the same person every day.
No,
I need the liquor store guy to think I'm busy.
I know, I can't. Okay, so the next category is cookies, just in general. Okay, so I stuck to like the classic, like grocery store flavors. So we have 1, Oreos, 2, Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies,
soft
3,
or hard?
Fuck, soft. Milano cookies and vanilla wafers.
Oh, okay. You're hitting all my. I will never not say vanilla wafers. Is it Nilla?
Really? It's the brand is Nilla, but I don't know why I just call them vanilla wafers.
Really fast. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but my favorite cookie ever. I mean, I have a lot of favorite cookies, but like a home run for me is my mom's. It's oatmeal butterscotch, like no raisins, just butterscotch, right? Just replace the two.
I would eat that in a minute.
Kills me. And it's so simple. I don't know why it is, but it's like we went to South Africa in the 80s and the family there made these treats called crunchies, and they were basically that. They're so good. But yeah, my favorite cookie is like an oatmeal butterscotch, no raisins. Okay, fuck, marry, kill.
I love that. Okay, yeah, fuck, marry, kill, poly partner.
I tried to make it in my oven with no reliable thermostat, and it looked like bat shit, but it was fine. I still ate it. Well, it was butterscotch, so what the hell's going to go wrong? Okay, fuck, marry, kill, poly, Oreo, Chips Ahoy, soft, Milano cookies, or Nilla wafers. The problem with Oreos is that they are my favorite, but there's just a lot of maintenance that's involved. You can't look somebody, like, you can't have a conversation with someone without looking like you've been face down in the dirt. There needs to be a milk-ish dairy component. Oat milk is great. There's just a lot to it. I would never eat Oreos in front of someone I liked.
Well, it also turns your mouth black.
Yeah, it has disgusting results, but it's so satisfying. It's slippery slope of satisfying results.
It gets in the corners of your mouth. That's the fucking
look at this huge horse mouth. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of like to get in there to stain up. It's like nar. Okay, so Chips Ahoy soft, the reason I distinguish is because Chips Ahoy hard is a worthless cookie. Like, I don't know why you're wasting your time on that. It's just dust. Yeah, the soft is like, at least you feel like you're getting something that was made. I'm
not a soft cookie person.
Not even just relative to the freshness or how recent it was. Really?
No, unless it's like there's got to be at least a crunchy outside.
A snap?
Yeah. Okay. I like a snap, but there's got to be a crunchy outside. I will do a soft inside, but there's has to be a crunchy outside.
Fair. I don't like that shit fucking falling out of my hands out of the fucking thing. That's disgusting. But I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Milano cookie and Nilla wafer. This is hard. I don't necessarily know I want to marry any of these. Okay. I will fuck a Milano cookie for status.
Okay.
I will marry a Nilla wafer because it just feels good.
Good.
I will poly the Chips Ahoy soft. Same reason as the Nilla. I'm going to kill the Oreo. It's my favorite, but if you love something, set it free.
I mean, you're sacrificing, but it's a good choice. I mean, look, you can't marry or fuck something that you know is going to be problematic eventually.
I mean, and it just is. It shows up immediately. I'm not even talking on the hips.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very loud presence. So I get it, even though it's good from afar. It's like when you have a crush on someone and you're like, I'll literally never, but good for you.
They made us do this thing in like preschool where we had to make, it was a pipe cleaner.
Yeah.
And then a paper flower on top of it.
Okay.
In a cup was ice cream. And then they dusted the top with crumbled little Oreo, right? So that was the dirt. And then
I'll do a dirt pie, dirt pudding.
It grossed all of us out. We didn't want to eat it.
Really?
Oh, that was also it. They put like gummy worms and shit in it. It was too earthy.
No, I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah, but I love the dusting.
Did you ever have someone bring in a cat litter cake?
No. Like that looks like a litter box?
Yeah. They would take an actual litter box.
Yes.
And they would put like, I don't know, cake or pudding or something, and they would cover it in graham cracker crumbs. And
that sounds really good.
Like mold little Tootsie Rolls.
Christ.
And like it would be like, oh my God, it's a litter box.
Catch it. No, I've had like dead body part, like Halloween kind of cake stuff. But I haven't had cake, I don't think.
No, I mean, I love things that look like other things. So
that's the beauty of baking, is that
I know.
I wish I
love
was
manipulating the way food looks.
Well, and that's what you are really good at. Is not only can you actually bake, which is a science, but you can shape it, make it, and design it, which is, I think, fucking nuts.
Thank you. It's I just love when things look like other things, and then they're so fun to eat. Or like I'm eating a bug. It's psychotic. It's so childish. I wish that I could eat dirt when I was a kid. I used to do like the dirt experiments, and I knew I couldn't eat it, but I was like,
there was an NPR, I hate that I'm saying this, like interview.
NPR bitch.
This is years ago, but it was about some shitty country where things are bad, and these people were making a killing off of dirt biscuits. And so it was like you get some dirt and then you have some butter, and there may have been like some salt involved, and you just kind of roll the dirt into a dirt biscuit, and then you bake it, you dry it in the sun, and then people were eating that. But that was the only food people could have. I know, but it was like, I'm
good on that. Thank you.
That's the kind of baking I'd probably come up with.
I mean, look, here's the truth. I would try it because I will try almost anything, but that's not right. You don't need to use dirt. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they do need to use dirt, and I'm just a monster. But
I've just really started getting into like cookies, and I don't want to waste the sugar and butter on a crappy cookie. Like I want it to be like worth it.
Yeah. I mean, a good cookie, it's funny because like I'm never in the mood for a cookie. Like I'll never be like, oh, you know what I really want right now? A cookie, but I make them so often.
What
go
what
ahead.
is the most annoying cookie to make?
Like frosted sugar cookies.
Why?
Because the process of making a sugar cookie, the dough has to chill. And so that becomes its own thing. And then in order to shape them, you have to be able to work really quickly with the dough so that it's cold, and then ideally chill them again. And then when you bake them, you have to make sure they're fully dry. And doing the frosting in like the royal frosting with the decoration, you have to let it dry at least 24 hours before you can put them away.
To like harden or whatever.
Yeah. And like you have to make 2 different kinds of the color so that you can do the outline and it doesn't drip down. It takes so fucking long.
And those are sort of the least dynamic cookie, right? Like flavor wise. Like when you eat a sugar cookie, it's like it's delicious, but it's like it's not as like mind bending as others, I would think.
No, not at all. Well, in my opinion, not at all.
You're right.
But like
I love a sugar cookie though.
I mean, I like a sugar cookie that's like covered in sugar, crispy on the outside. There's a place in Chicago called Potbelly's, and they made really fucking good sugar cookies. And that was like my jam there. Although I would say for this group of cookies for Fuck, Marry, Kill, Polly, I would kill the soft chocolate chip cookies.
I mean, they're amateur. They're church cookies. You know what I mean? They're what you bring to like a piano recital.
It's true.
But they're very comfortable.
Those
I like dipping in milk. And also they're clean. You can they're a clean cookie.
That's a good point. They are a clean cookie. And they're specific. They're not a chocolate chip cookie you would buy at the store or you would make at home. They're like very much a store-bought cookie, but there's a specific taste to it.
There was a thing, it might still exist in the 90s, where it was like a fundraising thing for like the cheerleaders or the drill team or the whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Where you bake cookies in the courtyard or whatever in school.
Oh, you would bake them or sell them in the courtyard?
Well, both. You could bake them fresh. They had a thing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you would have these and they were like these size. They weren't like gargantuan, but they were plentiful.
Yeah.
So like the drill team girls and like a mom would have some kind of little, I guess, toaster oven or some shit, cranking them out. The courtyard smelled like a cookie factory. It's so good.
That's incredible. I love that. That's
is yummy.
I guess I would still kill the Chips Ahoy. I would.
Well, I only fucked the Milano for status. I don't like those cookies at all.
Yeah. Milano's, there was like a boy that would go to the same vacation spot as me when we were kids. And I was probably 12. He was like maybe 13. And I just remember sitting around in the hammocks and he would be like, Milano cookies are the best cookie in the world. And I would be like, okay, I love them now.
There's not one time that I've had a Milano cookie and thought, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah. I mean, it's solid. I mean, I love a sandwich cookie. Like I love a sandwich cookie, but
it's not technically a Madeleine. Not technically.
No, because it's hard. But I don't really care for Madeleines. Well, Madeleines are cake, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Sure. Are they hard though?
So
a Madeleine?
No.
Or is it just because they're like dipped in chocolate?
Well, if they're dipped in chocolate, that part is hard, but otherwise they're not generally hard. They're like made like
Madeleine was a
they're like
cookie.
They're really shallow. They're eaten as cookies, but they're technically like cakey.
I love that.
It's
Did you ever watch Martha Bates?
They're weird. Yes.
That's my favorite Martha Stewart product. Is that show?
Yeah. It's so funny because Martha Stewart's recipes online, everyone shits on them so hard. They're like the worst rated recipes. It's so funny.
I've tried to, if you just Google like quick at home chocolate chip recipe, like hers are always one of the first things that come up. And it's very true. People are like, this is the worst thing. My party was ruined. And it's the most basic. You're not trying to it's usually a simple recipe or something everybody's heard of. It's not something extravagant.
Yeah.
I love Martha Bates because she's so militant in such a warm environment, which I love.
It's so true. I used to have a collection of 1-star cookie reviews where people would like go on the Toll House website and be like, these are the worst. They fucking ruined my birthday party. These are the worst cookies I've ever had in my life. And I was like you guys need to literally chill the fuck out.
People are insane. Although we used to love call the minute we found out that something had a hotline number that you could call, then we called. Like I remember seeing that like on the side of a cereal box being like customer comments. What?
And I love a prank phone call.
Mm-hmm. Once we found out we could call the local news station as kids,
that's amazing. That was
a breakthrough. Yeah, I mean, my friend Brooke.
Fuck.
I can't believe I'm calling about. Yeah, we'd put on some stupid accent and get mad about the news.
Love it. That's what I would do too, though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I would kill the Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies. I would. Would I though? I mean, I would marry the Oreos. I like a messy relationship. So I'm here for the Oreos.
I think
I want to bear it all. I want to bear it
they're
all.
the most sustaining. They're like you could live off of Oreos. Out of all of these, I think an Oreo would like have the most nutrients.
Right. I can put a sleeve of Oreos away and fully happy with it. They're also just like really not judgmental. And I do feel like the Milano cookies are judgmental.
Ooh,
and I feel like
time.
the Chips Ahoy cookies have an ego. So I might also
they just
fuck
think
the Milano.
they're like cookie number one. You know what I mean?
Well, they're like,
they think they like invented the damn thing.
They think they're like captain of the cheerleading squad. And I have no interest in that.
You know what's funny about the Oreo cereal is like, why on earth didn't we just crumple up a bunch of Oreos and like put them in a bowl?
I know. Well, because they would get soggy, but
they were the little cuties. They were cute.
I know. I'll eat Oreos any format though. 100%. I don't give a shit.
Like when they're like chocolate covered Oreos, is that too much for you?
Yeah, it is actually.
That's too much for me.
I take back eating them in every format. No, because it ruins it. I don't fucking want. I don't want the chocolate covered Oreos. They suck.
The coating, yeah. Well, you don't get the like Oreo part till it's too late, and then I'm usually on to the next bite because I'm a pig. So it's like,
no, I'm the same. I'm the same. I would. I think. Oh no, go for it.
I was gonna say my grandmother worked at a place called Puddin Hill, no G, pudding, but Puddin Hill. And it was just this dessert, like chocolate store. Yeah. That only employed grandmas, like a bunch of nanas worked there and stuff. Yes. But that's one of the first places I distinctly remember her showing me the machine that was making white chocolate. Like her being like, Daniel, that's white chocolate. I fucking remember that. But I also remember that was the first time I had like it was like a vanilla covered Oreo. And then being like, it's Oreos. And you're like, we're like, no, it's not. And you know what, like, kids just need literal accuracy sometimes.
No, I can't do it. I hate it. Okay. I would marry the Oreos, fuck the Milanos. I would poly with the vanilla because vanilla and chocolate is great. It's classic.
Yeah.
Vanilla wafers are really clean. I could sneak them on the side pretty easily. Like if Oreos was getting jealous at all.
Vanilla wafers are versatile too. They work really well with other flavors.
Yeah. And they're discreet. You know what I mean? And discretion is sometimes important. Vanilla wafers are a discreet cookie.
That's best attribute in a cookie.
Discreet.
So mm-hmm. That's my number one tag.
Absolutely. Okay, so the last category we have is crackers. Made a switch from sweet to savory. So here are your cracker choices for fuck, marry, kill, poly partner. We have
really fast. Can I tell you that I had to have someone?
Oh yeah.
I had to have someone. I mean, I knew it, but I was like, can someone just straight up tell me the difference in sweet and savory? And they're like, well, savory is. They're like. Savory is, I was like, it's not sweet. So like, basically, yeah. I was like, then why even say that? I was like, why are we saying that? What do you consider savory?
That's so funny. It really is just like not sweet. I think it's the difference. I think of it between dinner and dessert flavors.
Now see that I can relate to, but like sweet and savory doesn't make sense to me outside of that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Like you would salt your dinner heavily, and you wouldn't normally think of salt being a prominent player in dessert. So it's like, or like, so you take, like for me, like you take, That's when like people put herbs and shit in their dessert because they want it to be like a little sweet, a little savory, which I disagree with for the most part. But I do like a sweet and savory mix.
There was a cake that they made in South Africa that had green peas in it. It was like a white icing cake with like green.
Was it good?
I didn't eat a single thing except for Rice Krispies in South Africa. I was a kid.
That's
perfect. I was like 6 years old.
Oh yeah.
I kind of couldn't handle. Well, they also when they ate cereal, the family we stayed with, they would warm up their milk, and so they had like it was actually really good. I know it sounds disgusting, but it was really good. I
guess I could see it being good.
Yeah, it was. You got to pick the right kind of cereal for it, but it was actually really
good. Interesting.
I promise.
Yeah,
so the first time, but it was my diet for 3 weeks.
That's also cool. You went to South Africa. I've been like nowhere, but I love that your family went there or you went there.
We were family.
Your whole fam. Okay, crackers. Let's do fuck, marry, kill crackers. We've got Ritz crackers. We've got Cheez-Its, Wheat Thins, and Triscuits.
Okay.
It's a tough one because, like, you could potentially hate all of these.
And I pretty much do. First of all, one of my favorite bars in the world is Don's Depot in Austin, Texas. One of the bartenders there spoke American Sign and would teach you all kinds of fun stuff. And so I know cracker is this. Oh, fuck. What is ERR? I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrong. It's just that. Cracker ass, dirty motherfucker. But cracker is just that, I think. I'm sorry, I was trying to spell ass. That's what it is.
Okay. No, yeah.
Cracker ass, and then this is dirty, and then that's motherfucker. Mother is this, father is this, I believe. And so that's...
Okay.
That's mother. I think that's motherfucker.
I like it.
Not great. I know. Okay, so fuck, marry, kill, Ritz crackers, Cheez-Its, Wheat Thins, and Triscuits. What is the fucking difference between a Wheat Thin and a goddamn Triscuit? Nothing.
Okay, the Triscuits are... that's not true at all. Okay? Please
They both taste they both taste the way World Market smells.
Fuck, that's... honestly such a great description. I think Wheat Thins are better by far because they're slightly sweeter for some reason.
Okay, I would agree with that. Triscuits are the real thatched kind, that kind of when you bite it, it kind of breaks apart a bit.
Yeah,
it's like hay, kind of like you're eating a hay bale.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. You're eating hay.
All right, I'm starting to piece my opinions together. Wheat Thins are good conduits for things like cheeses, spreads, right. Charcuterie, accoutrement,
right. Although I think Ritz are better for that. I think they're better
because Ritz are nothing but butter.
Exactly, and that's how a snack should be.
Primarily based in butter. Ritz to me also just, I don't know. I like that golden taste of them. Okay, so Cheez-Its, I have this crazy memory. This guy came to our house as Santa Claus when I was like 1. And my parents were like, there's no way you remember that. And I was like, I do. I remember having a Cheez-It in my hand and I was pretending to feed it to him and he was pretending to take bites. And then I jabbed it into his lip instead of his mouth. And he was like, oh, like laughing, but like fucking hit him in the gum. And they're like, we remember that. So like I have this distinct memory of like the square Cheez-It and being like, God, because it was Santa, you know what I mean? It was fucking VIP. Yeah. How much more famous does it get? But Cheez-Its also have the same like tragic flaw as an Oreo in that you really can't like, you need a fucking water pick to clean your mouth out when you're done. Okay.
That is true. It sticks to like the insides a bit.
Fuck, marry, kill. Okay, well, we're killing the Triscuit. Bye.
Yes.
fuck, marry, kill. Polly. Well, Polly the Ritz, because as we just said, I think it's so compatible and generous.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, the Ritz is way less classist because you could put like Lunchable meat cuts, cold cut kind of bullshit, like a fucking slice of American cheese up to, maybe a little foie gras or something on it. So I think that they're less classist. You could put some dog shit on a wheat thin and you'd be like, this cracker tastes better than this, right?
Right.
So I'm Polly the Ritz because they're good with everybody. I'm going to fuck the Cheez-It because it's messy.
Yes.
And then I'll marry the wheat thin because structurally speaking, they're reliable.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I agree for the most part, except I would marry the Ritz crackers. I mean, and I would be so in love that I probably wouldn't. I really wouldn't go for the wheat thins that often. It would just be like every now and then I would like dip my toes in it. Yeah. Actually, I'm taking this back. I'm going to marry the Ritz. I am going to Polly the Cheez-Its.
What?
I know, because like, I don't know if you've had Cheez-Its recently, but they have upped their flavor game to a place where I find it really enjoyable. Look, marrying Ritz and polying with Cheez-Its is a pretty dangerous route for me because I do feel like I could double fist them.
Have we had a Ritz Cheez-It bite before? Have we ever stacked that?
No, but I bet it would be delicious.
I bet it would taste kind of like pizza. I bet it would be really close to pizza. You know what I mean? You know how goldfish have that pizza flavor?
Oh my God, yes.
Maybe like a little slice of prosciutto or some shit in there.
Oh, yeah. Or like cheddar, like some sort of cheese. That would just like, I love a fucking sandwich. I've been really into different kinds of s'mores, and I would fuck up these crackers.
Did you ever make a chip sandwich? Was that ever like just like a fold over?
It just like never really like did it for me, but
I had to slow down because those are always just like
really on a chip sandwich.
Well, because like you usually just eat one till like dinner's ready, right? It's usually like a quick snack.
Yeah. No, I feel like people at delis they put chips on like actual sandwiches.
Well, old girl in fucking what is it? Breakfast Club who puts Captain Crunch and all that shit on her sandwich and chips.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the one and only reason I put Fritos on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which everybody knows is like the king recipe.
Yes.
For chip sandwiches.
No, it's very fucking good. I mean, peanut butter and jelly is just a good sandwich in general. Although I would prefer peanut butter and jelly on Ritz crackers.
Than bread. Is that more like?
Yeah, well, because I never got white bread when I was a kid. So
we went on a bread journey as a family. What did you get?
Really? I got like the whole wheat, like thick, grainy shit. My mom was like a hippie granola.
Oh, did you get like that Ezekiel bread, that frozen shit? See, I like that.
I had a lot. Well, I like it now, but like back in the day, it was like, can you make my sandwiches not brown?
Also
in my life,
impossible to make toast. Who wants to wait 15 minutes for a fucking piece of toast? Like that's ridiculous. Like it's
bananas. No.
The only two things my sister can make are toast and a kitchen fire, and her fucking toast recipe is immaculate. It's like I don't know where she discovered this.
Really?
My parents never taught it to her. She broils it. You put it in, like you butter the bread and you just fucking broil it for like less than a minute. Holy cow. It's so
Nick does that too. My boyfriend does that too. And like he'll do like a grilled cheese that way also.
It's incredible.
And like put it in the boiler or broiler. Yeah, like I'm a microwave. I'm so lazy. I just
Oh.
like will microwave literally anything and
I have not
pretend
had a
like it's
microwave,
fine.
I think it's been at least a decade. I don't not to I'm not
You're
bragging.
one of
I haven't
those.
had a dishwasher in even longer, so I'm not bragging. I'm
Oh,
just
same.
lack of appliances.
No, I
Uh,
haven't had a dishwasher since it was probably 15 years ago.
my sink is over the window that faces the front of the street, and I live in East Hollywood, so
Yeah,
there's all kinds of skanky shit going on outside all the time. So like, it's
for
good to do
sure.
the dishes. I could just fucking like be the old lady who's
The
like
show.
cruising the neighborhood. Well, and everybody can see me, right? Because I'm in the front, so
Yeah.
everybody just see me all what?
You're just like,
Uh,
hi.
yeah, I'll do the dishes all day.
Fuck, that's hilarious. I So I'm polying with the Cheez-Its. That means that I'm fucking the wheat thins because I can't do a Triscuit. You know what though? Every now and then, if I'm polying with the Cheez-Its and Ritz crackers, my life will be messy, and every now and then I'm gonna need like a real safe fuck. Just a real I'm going to need to feel because I feel like I'm going to feel pretty unsafe in my relationships outside of
Why?
that
Yeah.
because
Well, Cheez-Its are
it's like,
crazy.
yeah, you just don't know. You don't know what a cheese it's going to pull out. And look, sometimes Ritz crackers make you sick if you eat too much.
Well, and Cheez-Its have those little ribbed edges, you know what I mean?
Yes. And they can like hurt your mouth sometimes. So it's just
Big
like
time.
sometimes I feel like
Who
I'm
has
going to
wait?
need.
What do you mean sometimes? Who has successfully had a sitting with some Cheez-Its and not left with like a severe gum laceration?
I feel like those are most of the snacks that I like though, unfortunately. Like one thing I've learned about talking about snacks on this podcast is that like I would say most of the snacks that I love have consequences in my mouth. Like there's definitely consequences to like Doritos don't for some reason, but it's like if I'm doing Cheetos, like all of this shit is like a nightmare.
I'll tell you why Doritos don't. It's because there's so much of a layer of dust around them that all the corners are softened. Do you know what I mean? Like no matter how you
No,
jagged
and
them
it's
up.
like be still my heart Doritos. Like
Yeah, I like burned. I did some damage eating some corn nuts on the road just this last like weekend.
oh
I was
my
like, damn.
God,
No, I
road
love a
snacks.
fucking.
Don't even,
I was in
I
a band
love a
and
corn nut.
we were awful. I love a corn nut. Like, give me any flavor
Love
corn
it.
nut. Nothing is too stupid.
Yes.
Flavored for a corn nut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Corn nuts are
so
great, and
hungry.
they have the stupidest name. I know now you're hungry.
Is there a dill
I guess
flavored corn nut? There has to be.
there has to be. There has to be.
Do you know Zapp's chips?
Yes.
ZAPP. They have a dill. I forget what the actual name of it is, but it's so good.
Dill is like a hot flavor of chip right now. And it's been like hot in other countries, but it's like a hot flavor right now. Like actually, I think on Steph's episode, we talked about dill pickle. I guess they call them crisps up yonder.
What do you call like a big plastic chair that you might have on your porch or out on the deck? Like an outdoor chair.
I don't know, a chair?
Oh, well, no, what's like a kind of chair? Adirondack.
Wicker?
Chair.
Oh, an Adirondack chair.
That's normal to you, right? Or that's,
Yeah.
You know what I would mean? I would be speaking of a chair if I said Adirondack.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
I went to Canada with Steph, and her family fucking looked at me like I was a Martian. When I was like, "Oh, I love y'all's Adirondacks," and they looked at me like, "Uh-huh." I was like, "You're not that fucking far away, you psychos."
That's so funny. My family used to go to the Adirondacks every year.
Well, I also didn't
That
think
was
they
their
thought I was
vacation
talking
spot.
about the Adirondacks.
I know. Fuck, that's hilarious.
Wait, y'all would go, or your parents would go?
No, we would all go. We
What would
had
y'all do
like
there?
we had family friends that had like a camp of cabins that they were renting out. And so it was so fucking cool because it was right on the lake. or like a lake, and it was a small enough lake that like when we were kids it felt huge, and you could go cliff diving, you could literally swim across the lake, you could go in motorboat, like it was just like such a fucking playtown. And our parents always knew that you were safe because there really wasn't anywhere to go.
Right.
So we would just like
drowning,
wreak havoc. Sure.
Except the lake, the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, except when we would hold rocks and jump off the dock.
Well, cliff diving, we used to do that at Lake Travis, and it's only like 30 feet, but that's like terrifying now.
It feels so scary. Oh yeah, as an adult, I'm like never, absolutely not. Are you kidding me? My bones are precious.
The place we would go cliff jumping specifically. First of all, there were these guys next to us. They were these two Mexican guys. One time we were there doing just like back these crazy acrobatics, just flying off. And finally I got, because my sister wouldn't, she could not be cajoled to jump off once, only like 30 feet. I looked at these guys, I was like, y'all don't give a shit. He's like, in Mexico, this is nothing. In Mexico, we jump off 90-foot cliffs like on our way to work. I was like, oh, must be nice. I know. But then the tricky thing was at that lake, you jumped off the cliff, and then the only way out was to climb back up. And so you were slippery. And it was scary because it was very scary.
I remember that. Everybody was always a little like, ugh. I also like when I jump off the cliff, it's like how it was with sledding when I was a kid. I don't know if did you have snow where you grew up?
Like twice.
Okay. Yeah. In the winter, when we would go sledding and we would go down the hill, it was just like the work to fun ratio was just like not enough for me.
Gotcha.
Like we would have to like climb up this giant ass hill for 2 seconds. And I was of fun. And I was like, I can't do that. But I do kind of miss it. I don't fucking know.
That's sort of how I feel about like amusement parks or water parks in general, other than the gnarly water park. I'm like, I just want to do the big tubey ride over and over again without waiting in line.
Yeah.
Because I want to be
I want the tube. I need the security of the tube. I mean, I know the most disgusting thing is a lazy river, but the lazy river is kind of my jam. I mean, I'll never go to a water park ever again.
I totally agree with you on everything you just said about the lazy river, but there is a hotel just east of Austin where they have like a miniature water park on the grounds. Like I said, just like a pool. There's like a big ass slide and a lazy river, like a substantial. So you don't just feel like you're going in a circle, like it kind of winds you. And because it's a hotel, there's like less traffic, you know what I mean? So the urine to water ratio is good for you. But anyway, they also nightly, the hotel hosts a s'more roast. They bring all the damn supplies and everything, and you just show up and you bring your stupid family, and it's real cute. And after a day of swimming, that's like a perfect little like nosh.
That's fucking amazing. I'm really into s'mores right now.
Do you bend the recipe at all, or you just?
Absolutely. I made s'mores the other night that were, it was marshmallow, a Ritz. Not Ritz, a Reese's peanut butter cup, like a normal Reese's peanut butter cup, a marshmallow, bananas, and
nice.
And then like the graham cracker. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
There was a time where graham cracker alone was like the snack. That was all I needed. There was a minute where that was it. I remember that. I just cracked.
They're not crackers. They're cookies.
Yeah, they're delicious. Wait, what? Oh, do you remember the cereal s'mores? Very short-lived.
Of course. Every weirdo cereal I am like up to date on.
So s'mores, I remember being like collectively as a cereal was not enjoyable because just the parts didn't work, but the milk afterwards was the crown.
No, absolutely. It didn't work. You know what's good? S'mores flavored goldfish.
Those exist?
They exist. They've existed for a long time. They're so delicious. I suggest you go get some right after this podcast.
I'm going to Rouse. Skanky Rouse.
I mean, look at it.
One in East Hollywood?
I have.
It is the shanky's on lockdown.
Yeah, where everything's on lockdown. When I went to Baltimore, unrelated, I went to
Mm.
like a CVS to get a bunch of shit, and I was like,
Mhm.
I guess I can't get anything. I was like,
Yeah.
Nick and I didn't know what part of. We were like, is this a bad part of Baltimore? We didn't know where we were staying, and then
Yeah.
we went to like CVS, and I was like, I think this is not a good part of
Yeah.
Baltimore
That's my
because we can't get anything out, but. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I promised myself to not have long episodes. Is that bad?
No, I mean, you had a very chatty guest. So if you're trying to have
Yeah, but
short
that's
episodes,
why I
you gotta
love you.
super. Oh, thank you. I love you too. But I'll never shut up.
Um,
So someone always has to push the stop
no,
button.
I'll never shut up also.
I think
But you
Ramin and I
open
were 3.5 hours. See, I won't even let you wrap it up.
really? No, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, because I like steamroll talk over people, and that's like the whole podcast is like me asking a guest a question and then answering it. So
Mhm.
that's how good I am.
Yeah.
Um, okay, well, you have been an amazing guest. I love you
Thanks.
so much.
I love you too. This was great.
And yes, tell everybody where they can find you. I'm going to post all the links to all your socials and
All my
everything.
stuff. I'm opening for Margaret Cho all the way till New Year's, which I can't wait. So yay! Tour dates.
Oh
You
my
can find all
God.
my bullshit on my website, thedanielwebb.com. Yeah, that's where everything is. You can find me on Instagram. Everything is the Daniel Webb because I'm that.
Amazing. Well, I will
Yay.
post that. Daniel, I love you. Thank you
Love
again
you
for being
too.
on the podcast. Thank you for listening, you guys. My cat wants to eat and is going to be annoying. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.